Happy Friday, everyone. It's time to get designing. This week's DIY bucket has some really awesome summer blooms in it, very vibrant colors, and some seasonal fun wildflowers. So let's get started. Today I'm using a pot that is about 6 inches across by about 5.5 inches tall. It's tapered at the base. I'm going to use chicken wire. The buckets this week have some really lovely antique blue hydrangea in them. I know we had that last week as well, but they're just so super pretty. We've been using them in both weeks, so it's just been coming in super nice, and it's really big. So I could just tie it together to make a base for my arrangement, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the chicken wire because we have some sunflowers and heavy blooms in here, and I wanna make sure there's enough of a stable base to hold everything. So once again, I have my square chicken wire. I'm gonna fold it under on the sides. I'm gonna fold it over one more time, like a burrito, and then I'm gonna go into, there we go, oops, keep it a little around there. I go into my vase like so, and just tuck it down in there. So it basically makes a little ball or sphere shape within your vase. Tuck it in like so. And oops, it does not want to stay put. Oh, there we go. Nope, hold on, hold still. There we go, okay, perfect. So once it's down in there, and it can roll around a little bit because once we put the hydrangea in, it won't move. So we have this awesome hydrangea. Look at that, such a pretty color. We're gonna go ahead and trim it to the size of our vase, measure so that it floats right on top. Trim off all of these little nubbies. And we're gonna go right into the vase. Now it's a little bit long. You don't want your stem to touch the bottom of the vase and then wiggle around. You want it to hover a little bit, so I'm gonna trim it a little bit further, kind of taking it like a centimeter at a time, just to make sure I don't cut too much off. So what you're gonna have here is just a hydrangea bloom covering about half the vase. We're not gonna cover the entire top of the vase because we're gonna put some greens in between so they can still see that pretty hydrangea throughout. There's another one, such a pretty color. Yeah. There we go. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? Just to do something a little bit different here, I'm gonna keep my chicken wire base in place. Oops. And I'm gonna take my two hydrangea, I'm just gonna tie them together lightly. I'm thinking that's will help with the sunflowers. So I'm gonna take a piece of raffia wire and go around it like so. Give it a little twist, trim off the excess we've done before. I'm gonna go right into the middle of my ball. And I'll pull the two hydrangea apart a little bit so they can be seen. Perfect. Okay, so now we have the benefit of the chicken wire, and we have the laterals from the hydrangea working together to make a nice base for our flowers. So for greenery this week, we have this really cool chapelera that we got in. So this is great because you can use it as a full stem, or you can take the individual pieces off. So that's what I'm gonna be doing here. Any of the pieces that are long enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those as individual placements, like so. They're super cool because they're long lasting, and they have these really cool, like fingery looking greens, and they're just a really pretty color. So I'm gonna add all of these in. If any of them are too short, make sure you know they're long enough to hit the water, or don't use them, or just use them on the full stem like so. So if I cut it here, then I've got these two placements on there. If I can use them as one, use them into my arrangement like so. I'm gonna tuck that and bring this in on the side here to cover this little hole in between my hydrangea right there. And I've got a short piece here, so I'm gonna use him on his stem just to get a little bit of an elongation so that it'll get into the water, since this lateral will probably be a little bit too short. I'm gonna tuck that in just on the, like so. Very cool. Got a couple pieces of that though. So on this one, for instance, all of the laterals are pretty small, so I'm gonna hack it on the main stem into smaller pieces and use them that way. You definitely don't want to use anything if it's going to be too short to get to your water. Put that in there. Got a piece like this. I'm going to tuck that in here. And you can see that green all the way around. That is too short. Save him for something else. All right, next up is these really awesome coral spray roses. So I'm going to get some of those in there. I like to use some of my branchy stems first, just to help build up that grid for my other flowers. I do have sunflowers in the bucket this week, some really pretty variegated petal sunflowers, but because their stems are thick, I'm going to use them after I use some of these branchy stems, but before I use my roses and other ones. So essentially I'm doing branchy stems first. Then I'm gonna start with my focal blooms, the larger ones, and then I'll do my fillers after that. So I've got a couple of these really awesome thistle in the bucket this week. Here we go. And I'm going to take this guy off and use these two together. You might want to take these pieces off at the bottom just so they don't go into your water. Let them kind of be where they want to be. It's kind of a weirdo piece, but I'll use it anyway. There's another one. If your blooms are all pretty much the same height, just use it as one individual piece. If you have some lateral blooms that are long enough to separate off, go ahead and do that and use them as individual placements. All of mine are kind of stubby, but some of the ones in the buckets this week had longer laterals, so they could definitely be removed as a piece and used separately. 1, 2, I don't want to get this out a little bit more so I can see all three of them. I tucked that one little guy in the middle that I could get off of my first stem. All right, so got that going on. Next, we're going to do our sunflowers. I'm going to start with my fattest stems first. So you're going to have 3 of these variegated petal sunflowers in your bucket. So since these have these crazy big stems, I'm going to start with those and get them in there. So I'm going to measure. And these you want to hit pretty close to the bottom of your vase. You don't want them to be floating too high up or the weight of the bloom is going to pull it out. So we want to kind of place them down in it at more of a vertical direction versus this way, because if we go this way, it kind of wants to pull out. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult. We've got the chicken wire in there. We're just going to like roll them and get it right down in it. Oops, I'm right on top of my other flowers. I don't want that to happen. Okay, so I've got this guy in, looking right at you right there. We can replace the greens around it so nothing's covered. Here's our other one, super gorgeous, but also a gigantic stem. Just work with the shape of the stem here. I'm gonna do these in a triangle. So I wanna get this guy in over here, kind of in between my spray roses is what I'm aiming for. There we go. I'm actually gonna move this spray rose over a little bit too, so that it's not directly behind my sunflower because I don't wanna cover anybody. Okay, and then that leaves this spot here for my last bloom, which is going to be this one right here. And a fun thing you can do too with your sunflowers if you want is you can pull the petals off. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it actually makes a really cool texture to depetal your sunflowers. We do that a lot heading into the fall, so it gives like almost like an artichoke look that's really cool. But for right now, the petals are still really nice, so I'm just gonna go ahead and use them. So I don't wanna pull them all off yet. All right, so now we got everybody sort of even, going all the way around. Got our coral in between. I'm gonna scoot this guy over a little bit so he can be seen. There we go, looking good, looking good. And then next we have 2 of these other sunflowers that are just your standard variety. They're nice, these have smaller stems. They can sort of fit wherever. And I'm gonna go ahead and put those more in the middle here. Just kind of place that so it can be maybe like shadow it behind one of the other sunflowers. Tuck those in like so. And we're looking around here. Put that in there. This guy's getting on my nerves. I'm gonna take this off. Put it back in like that. All right. Then we have our roses. We have dark expression roses, which I love because they are super long lasting. They hold their blooms really nicely, but they get nice and big and puffy. So you can give them a nice little blow to get the petals rolling a little bit. You can give it a little bit of a roll. You don't have to be too aggressive with it because they will continue to open. And then we're gonna place those right on in to our arrangement. These can have a little bit of length to them because they have nice strong stems. Tuck that in there. Again, I don't want to cover anyone, so leave a little room. Maybe I'll put him up a little bit to start. Got one there. It's a blow. Trim it. Get all the thorns and the nubbies off. Put a little bit of a roll over here. Take off any guard petals, always important. Tuck this in over on the other side. 2 there. This guy over here. This guy out. Oops, lost the petal. This guy out a little bit. It's always adjusting, especially when you're using something like sunflowers because they are just so big, right? You know, they want to cover everything. They're pretty, but they're difficult to work with. So I'm just gonna keep kind of moving everything around until it's where I want it to be. This is why we clean the stems really well, especially when we're using chicken wire, because When we pull the stuff out and we want to put it back in there, we don't want to pull everything out, which can happen if you don't clean your stems really nicely. So tuck this guy in over here. I really like the color of these coral roses with this blue hydrangea popping through. So pretty. All right, give this a roll. Give it a little roll. See where I need some color. Like down here, might need it. Do that in a little bit more of a horizontal. There we go. Looking good. This guy in at a horizontal. Okay. And then it looks like kind of something over here. So I'm going to do my last one in this area. Get these petals off, or leaves off. If you have any leaves up near the top that are pretty though, and you want to keep them on, go for it. You just don't want any leaves that are going to go underneath your hydrangea or down into your water. Just scuzz it up. We want to keep everything nice and neat and clean. So I'll tuck this down here. Ooh, there we go. Give space for everyone to move. All right, now we have, let's tuck these guys in. Feverfew, really pretty wildflower look for the summer. So nice and long lasting, but you got to clean the stems pretty nicely. So in the buckets, they're cleaned pretty well, but you just want to make sure that they're clean going into your arrangement as well. They come on sort of these big bushy stems. So if you get one that's like a big bushy stem, like this, for instance, you're going to want to take those and separate them into smaller pieces. Make sure you're giving a fresh trim and make sure you're getting all of the greenery off. And these are great to fill in between, but you also want them to pop out a little bit because they have a cool sort of movement to them. So I'm going to tuck some in deep in the arrangement, just to get a little bit of depth and texture. And then I'll leave some to kind of pop out of the arrangement a little bit so you can see that movement from the little buttons, and also to get that yellow color all the way through the arrangement. Spread out really nice. It's looking pretty good. This guy's kind of moving down that way. We might have to replace him, but we're gonna get everybody in first and then see where we need to move stuff. Coming to the end of the little pieces of feverfew that I can use. So I've got kind of like a larger piece here, and I'll stick that in somewhere that makes sense. I feel like I don't have anything over on this side. So I'm gonna use this piece maybe underneath so you can see a little bit of yellow there. Pull it out a little bit. Get this guy right here. There. This guy is gonna need to come up a little bit. There we go. Don't want it to look like a shower head, you know what I mean? All right. And then we have these really pretty peach ranunculus in here as well. So we're gonna go ahead and throw those in to the mix. A little springy injection, even though it's summer, because the color just goes really pretty. These are the salmon ranunculus. It goes so pretty with the coral roses. They have all these little bits on them too. So use those in your arrangement if you can, just for a little extra texture. This in, oops. There, get that in a little more vertical. Adjusting. Tuck this guy in here. Oops, come on. There we go. And I like when they hover a little bit. So if you can get it in so that it, has a little movement, you don't want to like push it all the way down in there. It can just sort of like float above, which is always a good look. Take off these little bits of salvia on the side. Use those at the end. Oh, I want this one over here though. There we go. It's a little bit of fill. So it's here. In the adjustment phase, I am redirecting some of these blooms so that they are filling the space in the shape that I want. And it's important that you get down to like the level here and make sure everything's falling in line where you want it to go, including the greenery, because you put that in first and you kind of forget about it. So you need to go back and reposition it periodically, make sure it's doing what you want to do and not getting in the way of other flowers or changing the shape of your arrangement in a way that you don't like. Okay, and I have one of these guys here. Whoops, I just like cracked a petal off of my guy here. There we go. There we go. Oh, and I have one more feverfew in the bucket over here. And my little bits of ranunculus. I'm gonna use for their greenery too, because their greenery is kind of pretty. And now when you're working with lots of big shapes, big attitudes in the flowers, you're gonna really wanna turn your arrangements, make sure that everything is where you want them to be. So I'm gonna do that now with mine. Some of the sunflowers, like I said, they're heavy, so they wanna kind of pull forward, right? So if that's not where you want them to be, just go back and adjust and make sure they're going where you want them to. This guy is getting on my nerves because he's not going where I want him to. But that is part of the design work, is getting it where you need it to be. So it's gonna come out straight, don't want any shower heads. Get that guy in there a little bit more. Looking pretty round, looking pretty nice. Adjust my rows up a little bit so you can see that there. All right. Pretty good. If there are any greens that have kind of migrated down that aren't doing what you want to do, you can always pull those out and put them back in the middle if that is a space that you need a little bit of fill. And there we go. All right. Everybody is in. Everyone is adjusted. Anyone that's been to a class here with me knows that I will stand and adjust my flowers probably for about 45 minutes. I'm never completely happy with them. We have a lot of people that come and say the same thing. They take them home and they always want to move everything around. And that's just part of the fun. I mean, the flowers are going to move, they're going to open a little bit, as maybe some things expire faster than others, and you remove them and you want to redesign the stuff that is still in there that's lasting longer. Like, go for it. It's a work in progress. It's like living art. So it wants to move around, it wants to change. And as the artist, it is your job to respond to it and do what you want with it. This is your canvas. So there we go. This finished product made it mostly kind of round. I would say if you're designing from home with this bucket or with similar types of things, you can also mound it in a little bit more if you like. I prefer to have it a little bit more spread out. And I feel like when you have these softer summery textures or wildflower textures, it is really nice to like give it a little air and a little space so that your flowers can breathe a bit and so you can see everybody. So there you have it. All right. There we go. All right. So you know the drill. Leave any questions or comments below. Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, follow along, check back every Friday that we have the DIY bucket send out. So we do make a video, unless I'm on vacation, which will happen again. But otherwise, yeah, we do a video every week, some new inspiration, some new flower types. Again, if you have a suggestion for a design style that you're interested in or a type of flower that you're interested in, please leave a comment. If you have any questions about the design for this week, please do as well. We'll get back to you with our answers. And in the meantime, have a great week. Check back with us next Friday, and happy designing.